What's good, everybody? This is Mario.
Hey, it's Maisha.
And today we're starting the first part on our cycle syncing series.
Yes, that's right. And I am so excited, you guys, to dive into this series.
Yeah.
So we got phase 1 that we're going to be talking about today. And this phase is called the follicular phase.
Let's
okay?
say it together. Let's say it
okay,
together.
1, 2, 3.
Follicular.
Follicular phase. Yeah, so this is the first phase in a woman's menstrual cycle.
Yeah.
And this phase happens after the menstrual cycle has completed, and it takes about 7 to 14 days for a woman to get through the follicular phase. Now, I'm not a medical doctor or anything like that, but here's the research that I found out when I dove into what happens during a woman's follicular phase, like what's happening on the inside of the body. So just to cut to the chase, this is the phase where the body is rebuilding itself from shedding that menstrual lining, and that's the period, right? And so in this phase, the body releases the follicle stimulating hormone, acronym FSH, and the luteinizing hormone, LH. And all of these hormones work together to produce a woman's egg supply. So there's a lot of, generation and creation that's happening in a woman's body during this time. So that's on the inside. But let me tell you some of the aspects that I have realized that happens on the outside, okay? Just like there's a lot going on the inside, a lot of productivity, creation going on the inside. That's exactly what's happening on the outside.
Absolutely.
Can you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
I can't wait to hear Mario's take on it, because now that we have talked about these phases, like he's been on it, y'all. He's been on it. And this information is going to help so much. So let me tell you about what your girl does during the follicular phase. And it was really easier for me to explain the phases to Mario as like the seasons of the year, right? And so if you're matching the follicular phase to a season of the year, guess what season it matches up to? Spring. Okay, you got to think about spring. The trees are blooming, flowers are coming back alive from the winter, birds is chirping, bees is beesing and making honey and all of that. That's exactly what your woman, or what you, Miss Lady, is going to be doing during the follicular phase. Okay, you are going to be productive. You are going to be creative. Your energy level is going to start going up. And this is when that honey-do list starts coming out, okay? This is when I will have a whole notebook. I'm going to show y'all like my to-do list. It'll be filled to the rim, a couple of pages with all of the projects that I want Mario and I to do around the house, or the things that I want to do in business, or planning for our retirement, you name it. I want to take care of so many things, and that's because I'm naturally productive. I'm naturally energetic, and it can be a little overwhelming to our loved ones, because the juices is going and we have all this productivity, and we're not thinking about time. We're not thinking about money.
Right.
We're not thinking about manpower, that we need in order to get the stuff done. We just know, hey, I'm in production mode and I need to get stuff done. So I want Mario to weigh in, and I want to hear what you think, babe, about the follicular
Right.
phase.
So absolutely. Just like Maisha said, what's happening on the inside is definitely reflected on the outside. I want to read just a little bit of my notes because I like to play off of these notes. Okay. It says in the follicular, I have to say it like this so I can say it right. In the follicular phase, it says in the ovary, several follicles containing immature eggs begin to develop. One dominant follicle matures and prepares to release its egg. What am I saying? So you have to think about this. Her body, or a woman's body, when my wife is in her follicular phase, there's a lot of producing going on the inside of her, and it says one rises up. So I like to think of it like this. During this particular phase, this time of the month, when she's in this particular phase and this time of month, there's a lot of ideas on the inside of her, and they're like fighting to get out, like literally. Just like it said, the one dominant rises up and takes the forefront. Well, that's the same same thing in this particular phase, in this particular time with Maisha as well as with women. In this phase, there are a lot of ideas. And like she said, she's just throwing ideas. Babe, I want to do this. Babe, I want to do that. And see, if we're not educated in this as men, you got to think. We have moments where we come out with all types of ideas and things of that nature, but most of the time, especially for me, I'll speak for me, most of the time my mindset is set on what we got to pay. Do we got enough to pay this? Are we budgeting this? What we got coming up next? This, that. Now, with Maisha, she ain't even, in the follicular phase, she ain't even thinking about that. So to me, when I was uneducated about this, I'm thinking like, babe, why are you saying let's do this, let's do that, let's do this, let's do that, and she just shooting at the hip. She's shooting these ideas and things, not even ideas, just things that she want to do. Some things may not cost money, some things cost money, but in my mind, I'm like, babe, we got this coming up, we got these coming up, and in times past, these things used to frustrate me. It used to cause us to get in arguments. I would kind of be like, babe, you ain't even thinking about this, you ain't thinking about that, but that's because I was ignorant of what she was actually going through, ignorant of the phase that she was in. So I'm learning now, okay, in this particular phase, I can expect that. I can expect her to be bubbling with ideas. I can expect her to be bubbling with new things to do and shooting from the hip and bringing them to me. Now, what I've learned from her, and she had to show me this, is to not shoot them down. Right? I had to learn not to shoot these ideas down. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you women can relate when there's ideas or something you would like to do with your husband. And he may shoot it down. And it's because we don't know how to respond when our mind is in a different place. And I'm learning to not necessarily shoot it down, but to applaud that idea, to compliment that idea and say, baby, let's work on that. Let's write that down. Let's put that on the calendar. Let's make that happen. It may not happen right then, but it's positive and it's productive to say, baby, we can make that happen. I like that idea. And I think that a lot of times in a lot of marriages, I'll just speak for me. Yeah. I didn't know that. So I was shooting you down. I felt like you may have been not, trying to be financially responsible when it came to certain things, but I didn't understand the phases. I didn't understand that you was bubbling and you was producing. So now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of activity going on the inside of her, and I'm seeing a reflection of that on the outside. So now I'm not ignorant. And now I can flow with you on that.
That's so beautiful, babe. And I loved everything that you said. And so that's really why we wanted to put this series together, so that couples can begin to understand what's happening here. And like Mario did, say it without being knowledgeable of something that's very natural, you're ignorant, and fights can happen, arguments can happen. My feelings would get hurt. Because number one, for the men and for women who are going through this phase, God created this phase for a purpose. It's biological, right? There's something that's going on in the body, but you need that creativity, that productivity. You need that planning stage, right? Just like we need spring, right? It would not be a good year if y'all did not have a spring. You know what I'm saying? So you need that spring. You need that those weeks or those days rather of productivity and creativity and planning, so that you can get through the rest of the phases or the rest of the months of the year. So you definitely need it. And this is to create, communication and conversation. And Mario and I are going to play a game maybe at the end of this series. We've already recorded it, but it's guess what phase I am in. So y'all gotta stay tuned to the end of this series so that y'all can see that fun game. I can't wait to do it. But is there anything else you want to fill the folks in on the follicular phase?
I did. One more thing that I did want to share, and I think this is important. You might want to piggyback on it. One of the things that it says, the traits or the characteristics that it says that women have when they're in the follicular phase, is that not only do they have increased energy, right, but they are more optimistic. All right. Just like the seasons. Maisha put it plainly, put it clear. Great example and analogy. Just like the seasons. God gave us 4 seasons for a reason, and every season has a purpose.
Yes.
So when it comes to the 4 phases that women have, I think that as men, we need to use that to our benefit or to our advantage. So in the follicular phase, it says that you women are more optimistic, which means positive, which means these are great moments and great opportunities for you as couples to have talks. You have to work with the phases. You know what I'm saying? Work with the phases. So when you got to have a hard discussion, listen, there's another phase we're going to talk about. You don't want to touch that phase during that time.
You don't want to
or
touch
have
no
a hard talk
no.
or a hard conversation. But when you're in the follicular phase, I think this is a great opportunity for you guys to have hard discussions or hard talks, because your wife, men, is going to be in a more optimistic and positive mood. And in that, the things that will be said that you would have to share, or, it will probably be more readily accepted during that time, and she'll be more open to it. It'll be a lot of good listening. Listening is a part of of communication. So I believe that if we use these phases to our advantage, we'll know when is the right time to say or do certain things, and it will help us as a marriage.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And one last thing I will say, you're right. I did have one thing to say. I believe that those discussions, conversations that you may have put off because of other phases, perfect time to have those talks during the follicular phase. But there's something else that's perfect to do during the follicular phase. So once you guys have that talk, and if it's that sort of talk that you have to make a plan on, accomplishing a goal, I'm going to tell y'all something, fellas. Y'all ready for this? You're emotionally intelligent. You know that she is in her follicular phase. And so when you have those talks with her, you're going to be, of course, gracious. You know that she is taking in what you're saying, and her wheels are going to be spinning on how to get a good product back to you. Like Mario said, use that phase to your advantage, to your family's advantage. Ladies who are not married, use this phase to your advantage. This is the perfect time to plan ahead.
Yes.
This is the phase that you want to have your notebook. You want to have your calendar. If you're an entrepreneur, business owner, a supervisor, or just an employee, this is the time you are going through your calendar and you're checking all the appointments, or you guys say, hey, we want to take a trip later this year. Yeah. Men, you need to say, baby, I want to take you to Europe at the end of this year. I got the money. Oh, glory. I got the money. I just want you to make the plan. Let me tell you, that woman going to be very happy.
What?
That woman going to be very happy. You give her a plan in the follicular phase,
absolutely.
Y'all going to have the best European vacation on this side of heaven. Baby, it's going to be great. Or whatever the goal is. You tell her, baby, I love this. We're going to set aside money or time or whatever y'all need to set aside. Baby, just, make the plan. I trust your vision. You can come back with your plan. We could talk about it later. She gonna be happy because you're utilizing that natural productivity and creativity. Yes. If she just sitting over there like a dud and not using that productivity and creativity, she's probably gonna get bored and she might not be happy. So use that time to your advantage. I love this. So look here, just like there's 4 seasons of the year. And we just talked about the follicular phase, which, if we're comparing it to a season, what's the season that matches the follicular phase?
Spring.
And everybody knows that after spring comes summer. So we are going to talk about the phase that correlates with summertime, baby. Yeah. This is the phase where, let me tell you, husbands are going to be happy. You, my boos, y'all gonna be happy. Y'all gonna want to be outside. Y'all gonna want to be social. Yeah. So I want y'all to come back and hear about the summer season of a woman's cycle, which is ovulation. So until next time, it's been real, you guys.
It's been real. We'll see y'all.
All right, bye.